This is Rugby Merlin and welcome back to the channel. So South Africa and Wales have announced the teams nice and early, so let's have a look at them and see what we think. I'm going to try and adopt a positive attitude to the Welsh situation, but it's looking pretty dire. There's a lot of stuff in the media saying it's the worst Welsh team ever. Not sure if I agree with it, but it's going to be a big ask going up against the reigning world champions. So let's look at the pack, the boiler house, the front five for South Africa. We've got Ox, Malcolm Marx making a welcome comeback, Vincent Koch on his 50th cap, Eben and Moster in the second row. So, pretty much as expected there, an extremely strong front five for South Africa, as always, but, a lot of experience there. They're going up against a very inexperienced Welsh front five. We've got Gareth Thomas, Dewi Lake, who's captain, Henry Thomas, Matthew Screech, and then Ben Carter, who both play for the Dragons. So at least they've got a little bit of continuity there. They've played with each other a lot. But on the flip side, the Dragons have had a terrible season. I think they finished second from bottom in the URC. So not a lot of success there for them this season. So hopefully they can raise their game. Not hopefully, they're going to have to against this very, very strong South African front five. Into the back row, maybe it evens out a little bit when it gets, more so than the front five anyway. You got Kwagga Smith and Peter Steph du Toit. He's captain for South Africa. So I think last time he was captain, his only time as captain was against Wales about 5 years ago, I think it was, or 4 or 5 years ago when they played over in the States. So kind of nice little bit of symmetry for him there, hoping to get a win against Wales. Then Evan Roos, who I was rooting for to get a start at 8. He has, so let's see how he goes. They're up against Tane Plumtree, James Botham, and Aaron Wainwright. Wainwright I'm a big fan of. I think he's come into his own a lot recently. Plumtree is the son of former South African coach and sevens player John Plumtree, and Botham is a grandson of Ian Botham. Maybe I'm showing my age a bit there, but that's a little bit of trivia for you. But I think it should be a good matchup. Of course, South Africa have the advantage because they have so much experience there with Kwagga and Peter Steph du Toit. But hopefully the Welsh boys can kind of, if they get up for it, they can match them physically. It's going to be a big ask, but I'll give them more of a chance than the front five. Then into the halfbacks, you have Faf de Klerk and Jordan Hendricks, who's a bit of a surprise. He usually plays centre, I believe, and they brought him into 10. Good defender, got all the skills, got a fair bit of pace on him as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how he goes. And he's up against Ellis Bevan and Sam Costello. Costello has been like Gatland's go-to since he's taken over the game. He's a bit erratic, but he's a good defender, plenty of guts in him. So Ellis Bevan, I don't know a lot about. Very inexperienced, even for his club side, which is Cardiff. I believe he's on the periphery of the kind of starting 15, and so I'm thinking maybe Gatland is going with him for his probably box kicking. Gatland loves a box kick, and that might be a ploy that they use a lot in this game, just to like even the playing field. But again, South Africa have the advantage. On to the back three now. This is where I think Wales might possibly have a slight advantage. South Africa, and I've called this video the deep end because the depth of the South African kind of player base is incredible, really, that they can bring all these players in even when it's outside the international window. There are a lot of injuries, and Wales don't have a lot of depth, which is proven by the selection for this match. And also a lot of their players are being thrown in at the deep end against the world champs. So for South Africa, you got Mpimpy, which I think we all expected him to play because of his experience. Edwin van der Merwe, who is a great player, you know, and he's been playing very well for his club. Plenty of pace and Farsi at fullback. So they're up against Rio Dyer, Liam Williams, again very experienced player, and Cameron Winnett, though I thought played fantastically in the Six Nations. It's called now another Five Nations, or what is it? 6 or 5? Anyway, yeah. So if they can play positionally very well, kicking is good from Wales, and they can put the South African new boys under pressure, maybe they can get a little bit of an advantage there. So that's what I'm hoping for as a Welsh supporter. So we'll see, though. You know, it's kind of a bit pie in the sky at the moment, and we'll have to wait until the game kicks off, and we'll see how it goes. But certainly, Rio Dyer, I have a lot of respect for. He's a very talented player, and I've been again very impressed with him. And Winnett too is one of the positive points Wales have got out of the season so far. So let's see how it goes. And finally, on to the centres. So Esther Hazen and Jessie Creel, again a great centre partnership. Maybe Dialande would have been a lot of people's selection just to get them, like, that's the usual choice for the centre partnership. They would have wanted him in there ahead of the Island test, but Esther is a very, very good player, very extremely powerful, and they're up against Mason Grady and Owen Watkin. They're no slouches. Mason Grady is kind of a big talking point in Wales. He's a big guy, very big guy. Plays on a wing, so he's got plenty of pace, but they put him in the centre. And interesting to see how they go. Again, they're going to have to, all of these Welsh players have to prove themselves, you know what I mean? There's nothing taken for granted here. And but at least they maybe have the credentials to actually match the South Africans, or maybe get a little bit of an advantage. So the centre partnership matchup is going to be very, very interesting. Where South Africa absolutely dominate Wales on paper is on the bench. It's, you know, they've got such a formidable bench. It's Bongi, Emchi, Malherbe, Murat, Ben Jason Dixon, loose forward, who is a tackling machine, puts himself about physically, very, very dedicated workhorse. Grant Williams, who's lightning quick, extremely good player who can break open a game easy. Sasha, who's been playing well for his club again, and then Dialande, who's a very, very experienced player. So really, really strong bench. The Wales bench is kind of looks more cobbled together more than anything. So I can run through the names for you, but you can look it up yourself. So I think from the most positive kind of take from a Welsh supporter, I can say that there are a few departments where Wales can challenge the South Africans, but it's going to rely on their front five holding, line out and set piece, scrum. If they can win their own ball, maybe in the first half, Wales can put up a good fight and, you know, stay within distance, or maybe even get a slight lead. I think it's possible, and they're going to rely heavily on the kicking game, challenging the back three. If the South African new boys in the back three have a bad day, maybe we could pick up a few scraps there. But I think when that the bench comes on, which I'm sure they'll use, you know, with Ireland in mind, I think it's going to be game over, really. So I'll predict Wales. Okay, I'll be bold. I'll predict Wales to have a 2-point lead at halftime, but South Africa to eventually go out to be winners by 20. So yeah, a big second half turnaround. That's my most positive take. I wouldn't say it's the worst Welsh team ever, but we've had better days, and but it's still, you know, all to play for. I mean, the players should go out and try and do themselves proud, do the Welsh do the Welsh supporters proud, and I'm sure they will, you know. But it's going to be a tough old day, as it should be, you know. South Africa, the world champions, for goodness sake, back to back. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little summary of the team announcements. Check out the next video, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye bye.